Hi everyone, welcome to Poonam's kitchen. Today I'll share with you my recipe for the healthiest egg paratha. Let's start. I'll begin by kneading a dough. In a mixing bowl I'll add 3/4 cup whole wheat flour and 1/3 cup chickpea flour, also known as besan in Hindi. To this I'll add 3/4 teaspoon salt, half teaspoon Garam Masala, 1 teaspoon Coriander Powder, 1/3 teaspoon red chili powder and half teaspoon Turmeric Powder. I'll give this a nice mix and using water at room temperature, knead this to a soft and pliable dough. Add water little at a time so that you do not have a sticky dough. The very presence of besan, that is the chickpea flour, results in a little sticky dough, so you have to be extra careful. I'll take some oil in my palm and smear it all over the ball of the dough. The gluten that has developed in the dough needs to relax so that we get soft parathas. I'll transfer the dough to an airtight container and store this in the refrigerator for at least half an hour. For the stuffing you could use either egg or egg whites. I'm using egg whites. You could also remove the yolks from the whole eggs to get the egg whites. 1 cup tightly packed spinach leaves. I'll separately measure whites of 3 eggs. I'll add a handful of cilantro leaves to the jar with the spinach leaves. We'll also add a half teaspoon salt, 1/3 teaspoon Garam Masala, half teaspoon Coriander Powder, 1/4 teaspoon red chili powder. I'll also add a teaspoon of green chili paste. You could add 1 whole chili. I'll add the egg whites to this mix. I'll now blend this to a smooth mix. I'm using a stick blender for the same, pulsing a few times. Here is the dough after resting in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. I'll give this a final knead right here on the rolling board. I'll divide the dough in 3 equal sized portions and then make smooth balls of the dough. Here are the 3 balls. Before starting to roll, I'll set the griddle to heat at medium. I got a cup of the egg and spinach mixture. I'll transfer 1/3 of this mix to another bowl so that it's easy when I have to pour it in the paratha. I'll toss a ball in the dry flour and start rolling. Now this egg mixture is pretty liquidy because of the spinach. I need to roll the paratha in a special way. I need to toss this in the dry flour. Now earlier I was rolling on this side. Now I'll roll on the other side. What will this do? This will ensure that both the layers of the paratha are thick enough to hold the liquidy mix. I need to roll this paratha a little thicker than what I do for the roti. I'll now again flip the side, roll on the other side, like this. Flipping this again. I'm applying equal pressure all over. I want to roll this into a big disc of around 7 to 8 inches in diameter. I'll also check if the griddle is ready. I can feel the heat at this distance. I'll transfer the paratha over to the griddle. I'll also reduce the heat to between low and medium. Now after almost a minute, I see bubbles on this side. Time to flip it over. Now what was earlier the bottom side is now partially cooked. You can see the tiny little brown specks. The side that is now facing the griddle will reach the same stage much faster, say in around 30 to 40 seconds. See, just 40 seconds, and this is how the paratha looks from the other side. I'll flip this over and puff it up. I'm using a spatula. You may use a padded kitchen towel for the same. Press gently all over and let the paratha puff up. Now this is a very important step in making this paratha. Once the paratha is puffed up, I'll flip this over. Using a kitchen knife, I'll make a slit in the paratha. Be extra careful because there is a sudden gush of steam. I'll very carefully transfer this egg mix into the paratha through the slit. This is like the most crucial step of making this paratha. You have to be very careful. Press the top layer gently and make sure that the liquid mix spreads all over the bottom layer. Now this will take a little time to cook, say around 1.5 to 2 minutes. That is why we are keeping the heat at low medium. We don't want to burn the paratha. Now while I wait for this paratha to be done, I'll roll the second paratha and also measure the egg mix. It's been almost 2 minutes. Let's take a look. The egg seems to be around 80% cooked. I'll give you a closer look. You can take a peek into this. Almost done. Time to flip this over and very carefully hold the paratha from this slit and flip it over. Now the bottom side will take another 40-50 seconds to cook completely. The egg mix inside is now getting cooked completely. I can see the paratha puffing up, the egg puffing up inside. Now that I know that there is no uncooked egg inside the paratha, I'll press this gently. I'll apply a teaspoon of desi ghee on the side of the paratha and flip this over carefully. I'll apply some desi ghee on the side of the paratha as well. I'm pressing the paratha lightly so as to fry it with ghee and make it crisp. I'll flip this over again and keep pressing. I want to make both the sides crisp. At my home, we eat this paratha 3 different ways. One is to eat it without ghee, absolutely no ghee, just like we take the roti off the tawa, the same way. Second, take it off but apply some ghee after removing it from the tawa. And third, this way, applying ghee on both sides and frying it. So the choice is entirely yours, how you want to eat it. My favorite is the second version. Take it off while the paratha is still dry and then apply some ghee over it. I believe that is the healthiest version. After a few seconds of pressing it, the paratha is now crisp and ready to be served. I'll cut this into slices using a pizza cutter. You may use a knife or kitchen shears. See how the paratha looks from inside. Isn't this beautiful? A green egg paratha, the healthiest paratha possible. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked my recipe, do give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to Poonam's Kitchen. I'll see you again with a new recipe very soon. Till then, bye.